Good morning. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Samson Pruitt. I am owner, co-founder of Slither Exotics. Yeah, man, the hair's growing back out. It's a little bit crazy. Haven't shaved. Don't care. I'm here for the message. You guys don't give a shit about seeing me anyway. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now in the Superdwarf groups, talking about what you should do to make sure that you're going to get the animals that are going to reach the size potential that you're interested in having in your collection. There's a lot of problems with this. First, age of the animals. You can't just say, hey, how big are the parents? Well, because the parents, I've bred male retics at 5 months old. Mainlands that were between 3 and 4 feet. Superdwarf stuff, obviously, even smaller. So if my male is 25 years old and has been fed heavily his whole life, then you can say, well, this male is this size. All right, now you've got a starting point. If your female is 25 years old, has been fed heavily, then you can say, well, this snake is this size. But saying how old are the parents, how big are the parents in a conversation with a breeder doesn't give you the answers that you're looking for. Here's the answer, and the only answer. No one can give you any more than an educated guess. Period. We're dealing with smaller size potential of the world's largest snakes. That's right. So, in order to give an accurate estimate to your customer, the only way that you could possibly do this is to have bred the same two animals together several times, multiple different clutches, maintaining offspring out of every clutch, multiple males and multiple females in a type of scientific control group, right? So if I bred these two snakes together and I have a clutch that are available right now, and you say, what do you think the size potential of these are going to be? If I've raised 5 or 6 different clutches with the exact same pairing, and I have adults that I have fed heavily through the process to get a worst case scenario, if aggressively overfed outcome, then I can give you a somewhat more accurate assessment of what those offspring are going to be. If you're buying a Superdwarf from a guy who's had 1 clutch or 2 clutches, and they haven't raised any of the offspring off of those clutches, and they haven't fed them aggressively, then they have no idea what size those animals are going to get. I have had in my collection 12-foot imported Superdwarf females and males. I don't keep them to keep breeding them because 12 foot is not small enough for the Superdwarf project, the Tiny Tick project that I'm trying to do with Slither. So all of this back and forth, but this is this size and this person said that and this person said that. I don't care what anybody said. You give me an accurate assessment of the possible potential, ultimate potential growth of a hatchling, you better have something to back it up, man. Besides so-and-so said so, besides so-and-so thinks this, besides, oh, well, they're not supposed to do this. They're not supposed to get bigger than 8 feet. Bullshit. If you want a retic that is going to stay under 8 feet, you have to aggressively overfeed all of the ancestors of that animal. You have to raise the ancestors' siblings and the ancestors of that animal, and you need to feed them really heavy in order to determine what the ultimate growth could be in an extremely high caloric intake environment. If you feed your retics every 2 weeks, you have no idea. None. No idea. Zero idea. The ultimate growth potential of those animals or of their offspring. I have several different lines of Superdwarf genetics that I've been working with for really close to a decade at this point. So several generations, several animals that I raised out of the clutches. Everything was fed aggressively. So when I have a customer who comes up to me and says, I'm looking for a pet, I want something that's going to stay small. I've always wanted a reticulated python, but I'm so worried about how big they get. How big do you think that these animals will be able to get? I have the ability to say, the mother was this size, the father was this size. I've bred these two animals together for this many different clutches. I've raised this many animals off of these clutches, and this was the size outcome that I got. So if none of those animals were over 8 feet, right, after being raised and aggressively overfed, then I can, in clear conscience, say, I believe that you are looking at a genetic lineage that has the potential to stay under 8 feet. But you always have to remember that we are talking about the world's largest snake genetics. If you aggressively overfeed any retic, I don't care how selectively bred, you are going to get animals that are going to exceed the parameters of what you think Superdwarfs are supposed to be. So just keep that in mind, guys. And please, man, please stop lying to these people. If you can't sell somebody a snake without lying to them about the genetics, man, you really need to find something else to do, because you're ruining it for everyone who does it right or tries to do it right. Don't worry, guys. I'm coming back. We're getting done with the move. I'm going to start aggressively attacking all of this shit online. All of these people that are out there claiming to be producing tiny retics, telling everybody a bunch of expert scenarios. When these people have done a clutch or two, I'm coming to get you, bro. Pay attention to what you're saying. Make sure that you're ready to be held accountable, because Slither is going to hold you accountable starting now.